Will Colorado Springs be the top real estate market in all of the United States in 2025? Well, KRDO wanted to highlight this with a 2.5 minute video. I'll put this in the video description so that you can watch this video yourself. Article goes on to talk about why the factors that contributed to this ranking system mattered so much that Colorado Springs ranked number one. So recent sales growth, abundant inventory, and in many cases driven by new construction, younger populations, and many of whom are connected to the military or have international ties. I think that definitely checks the boxes for all of Colorado Springs. So will we see the 27% growth in total sales volume in 2025? Remember, this is not an increase in valuation. Homes are not going up 27%. It's just sales volume. Let's highlight that in these reports here. So when you look at total sales volume here and follow along, 2021, we saw a massive, and this is just through November, a massive number of 16,716 listings. The delta, or the percentage spread between these two categories, is a 35% drop off in total sales volume. This drop off from 14,410 to 10,967 is a 24% drop off. I did the math a moment ago before I filmed the video. I'm not, able to do that, crunch that number in my head. But the point being is it would have to fall somewhere in here. So around 15,000 total listings sold January through November. Now, what would that be into December? Well, let's take a look at this. When we look here, this total sales volume is 5.8 billion. When you take a look at this number here, what we achieved in 2021, this is 8.9 billion. So we have a long way to go to get back to that pandemonium that we saw during the pandemic. And we have a long way to go to get back to the point where we're selling 15,000 homes, because that's almost 1,200, 1,100 a month in those slower months of January, February, and March, and then also the slowdown in October and November. Do I think it's possible that we can see a 27% increase, or basically a recapture of what we used to sell? I think so. Will we possibly see an increase in valuation to go along with that? Yes, with increased sales, increased valuation always occurs. If we have a decline where we're only selling by November, say around 10,000 or 9,000 total listings, we will see a decline in sales value, meaning what the average home is selling for. Again, think back to these charts that we've gone over every single month. We see a little bit of a decrease here in the average sales price. We see an increase here in the median. So the median, again, is the frequency of what's selling most commonly, and the average is the blend from $1 to 10 million. So this goes all over the place. So how does all of this kind of mix together, and how does it work in conjunction with Realtor.com ranking us above these other popular places to live in the United States? I think they're banking a lot of this on the idea that Realtor.com has national charts to kind of look at everything from a 50,000 foot level. And I, being a local realtor in Colorado Springs, have a very myopic viewpoint. I simply just look at Colorado Springs and El Paso County and think this is my area. But they have access to all this data and charts. So what separates us from all these other areas in terms of their initial criteria that they laid out up here? South and West, considerable recent sales growth, abundant inventory, and possibly military. I think two things need to be drawn out of this report. One, people are going to be looking at this market, and probably not the people that you are competing against in a direct sense. This would be mutual funds, BlackRock, Open Door. If Zillow ever spins up their iBuyer program again, those would be the people that are going to be paying close attention to this. This is like a hot stock tip, and people suddenly pay attention to it. The second factor is, with 5 military bases and PCS season being a part of it, and now a Republican-led government, it's likely that military spending continues and increases. So Colorado Springs will have a lot of reinvestment in that category. So while we may be ranked top, I'm optimistic on the idea that we can recover some of these numbers that we used to see right here in this by the time November of 2025 plays out. I think there's a good case to make for it that as rates continue to trickle down just a little bit, maybe back into the high fives, this becomes more obtainable. Anyway, I just wanted to highlight that for you. Hope you found this interesting, and I'll look forward to speaking to you on the very next video. Thanks so much for watching.